Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chrissy and you are watching Chrissy's Craft Room. So in today's video, I am going to do something a little bit fun, a little bit vibrant, and I think really cool. So if you didn't know, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. I am Chrissy. Not only do I have this YouTube channel, but I also own Elle's Glitter on Etsy. And Elle's Glitter is a supply store for fellow crafters, nail artists, makeup artists, and just pretty much anything or anyone who uses glitter, pigments, foils, or anything like that for crafts, art, whatever it is that your little heart desires. So in my shop, we actually carry fluorescent pigments. A lot of people love our fluorescent pigments. And a lot of people that actually purchase these pigments, like I stated before, are usually makeup artists, nail artists, and things like that. But I have had a few people question me as to what can fluorescent pigments be used for. Because they are actually offered in powder form, I wanted to come on here and just show you a few different ideas or a few different ways on how you can use and utilize our fluorescent pigments. So if you haven't seen our fluorescent pigments, I want to just show you and give you a preview of what they are and what they look like. So the first one we have today is purple. Now I actually keep them in these containers, but when they are shipped to you, I separate them, package them however you guys order them, whether it be in a little envelope or a little jar. I separate them, weigh them, and send them out to you. So we have purple, we have a hot pink, blue, orange, yellow, and green. What is a fluorescent pigment? Fluorescent pigments are best known for being those pigments that you see that glow in the dark. And our pigments do just that. So if I shine our pigments under a UV light, they will glow in the dark, which is awesome. It makes for really cool makeup looks, really cool crafting ideas, portraits, whatever it is that you guys want to use our fluorescent pigments. I've actually had a customer of mine that owns a haunted house this past Halloween and purchased a ton of our pigments to use to mix with polyurethane to spray paint in one of their attractions. So I wanted to come on here and kind of show you guys and maybe do a few videos on how you can use and best utilize our fluorescent pigments. So I want to show you what I mean about fluorescent and how they glow under UV light. So I went and grabbed my UV flashlight so that I can show you briefly, and hopefully it works because I know that it's light outside. And I don't want you to mistake our fluorescent pigments with glow in the dark, because if it is completely dark, these pigments will not glow. They are not glow in the dark, they are fluorescent. So they do need a UV light to have or cast that neon or glow in the dark effect under the UV or black light. So I'm gonna just grab our yellow pigment, turn on our fluorescent light, and hopefully you guys can see that glow. If you look closely here on the outside, you can see how it's kind of has that fluorescent greeny look. Let me see if it'll show better on the orange. So there you can see that kind of glow in the dark look. And then I'll grab one more just so you can really get an idea of what it looks like. So in today's video, I've decided to show you guys how I use them, and I think it is really awesome and really cool. I actually turned our fluorescent pigments into alcohol inks. And I'm really excited because we have 6 colors, so I made 6 alcohol inks, and this is just one of the ways that you can use our fluorescent pigments. So right after I'm done talking to you guys and explaining to you all what I've done, I will move the camera down and we're gonna jump into actually using these fluorescent pigment alcohol inks. And then if you guys want to see how I've actually created them or if you want to know how you can create your own alcohol inks using our fluorescent pigments or any pigments that you may have at home, then let me know in the comment section if you want a video with me showing you exactly how to make these alcohol inks. So I'm gonna just show you guys what I have in front of me, and you guys are going to just love them. So I have these little dropper bottles, and this is obviously our pink alcohol ink, and I want to just show you guys what they look like. This is our pink. So you want to make sure that you mix up your alcohol inks really well, because if you look at this color right here, you may see that there's some settling here down at the bottom with the pigments. So just make sure you shake up your bottles really, really well before you use them. So like I said, we have pink, we have green, we have yellow. Like here you can see a lot of the settling. Just shake it up really, really well. We have orange, we have our blue, and then here we have our purple. So this one settles a lot at the bottom, but I love it so much. This is our purple. Now this one kind of looks a little bit, it has a lot of pigment in here. I went kind of ham and added a lot of pigment. So that's why on the camera it kind of looks like a deep burgundy maroon color. But on the dropper, you can see that the dropper is actually like a translucent purple. So I have a really fun surprise for you guys at the end of the video. So if you want to know what that surprise is, then keep on watching, because now we are going to dive in so I can show you just how well these alcohol inks work on these tumblers. So if you want to see how I use my alcohol inks using fluorescent pigments on a tumbler, then stay tuned. Okay, so let's finally get started on the tumbler. You will see here that I already have part A and B of my resin, my mixing spatula, and all of the alcohol inks laid out. I did go ahead and put some white acrylic paint into my resin, because the tumbler I am using is spray painted white, but I did want to have more of a white base to work with the fluorescent pigments. And the tumbler I'm using is actually one that I wasn't 100% happy with. It already was glittered and resined, and I didn't want to strip it, so I just decided to put spray paint over it. And yeah, so this is the one that we're using today to do this technique with. So I went ahead and mixed in my acrylic paint into the resin, and now I am getting it all around this tumbler. So you can see just how much of that white acrylic paint helps to smooth out the look of the spray paint. And it just gives it a extra coverage and more of an even base to work with when you're using the alcohol inks. So because I'm using fluorescent pigments, I thought white would be the best way to go. But I've seen a few people use fluorescent pigments and alcohol inks on black bases as well, and they do turn out pretty cool. So maybe we'll try that next time. I'm gonna just continue to go in with that resin, smooth it out, let it spin, and I'll speed it up here so that it doesn't take up too much time. And then we will go in with our inks. Now that I've put that resin all over, I'm gonna go over that with my torch. Just very lightly, just to get rid of any extra bubbles we may have on the tumbler. So here is where the fun begins, and we're gonna start with the pink at the top and then make our way down. So my plan here is to create a rainbow effect on the tumbler. So that's why I am using the pink, and then we'll go down the tumbler with the other colors to create a really pretty rainbow effect on this tumbler. And you'll see in the beginning I do go slow, just dropping one drop at a time. I was just trying to gauge the intensity of the pigments and the coverage, and as I go along you'll notice that I start to add more and more pigments to the tumbler. So I just go in with all the colors on the tumbler one by one till we reach the bottom with the purple. And the really good thing I like about these alcohol inks is that we are able to make the intensity of the alcohol inks brighter and brighter. So you'll see here, and as we place each color, that our first layer of the colors is really light and translucent. And they do stay a little bit translucent, but you'll notice that as I go over each color again with a second and third layer of alcohol inks, that color really starts to intensify. So I'm going to speed up this part now while you watch me drop down the inks, and then you'll really be able to see the tumbler transform. So now you'll see I am going to start going over the pink and the other colors with another coat of inks, and you'll really start to see those colors intensify as I continue to go over those layers. And that's what I really love about these colors, is because you can go over them and intensify it. So the more inks you add, the brighter the colors get, and you'll be able to see here for yourself just how bright these colors get. And I really love the watercolor effect that these alcohol inks are creating on the tumbler. It's just beautiful. So now I finished up all the layers of the alcohol inks that I wanted to use on this tumbler. I go over it very, very lightly with a torch just to try and get rid of any little micro bubbles we may have. But you want to be careful with alcohol inks and the torch. You don't want to get too close with the fire because you will set your alcohol inks on fire, and you do not want that to happen. So please be careful when you're working with alcohol inks and a torch. Just a little disclaimer to put out there, and I am talking from experience, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Here is a little close-up of the tumbler while it's turning, and don't forget to let me know in the comment section what you think about these pigments and this tumbler. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Alright guys, so I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I had a lot of fun creating these alcohol inks using our fluorescent pigments. If you want to know where you can purchase our fluorescent pigments, then I will leave the link to my shop in the description down below. Now, I did say that I was going to end this video with some exciting news, and here I am to let you all know what that is. I wanted to give away a set of our alcohol inks to one of my lucky subscribers. All you have to do is like this video, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and comment down below why you should win a set of our alcohol inks. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. Let's get this video to 500 likes, and one of our lucky subscribers are going to win. Mwah!